Hi folks, welcome to the National Queen's Choice Online News and Say with Hyatt here in Singapore at the Whisky Live 2012. Here I have Mr. Zach Proctor who is here in Singapore to represent whiskies from Tennessee. And for the first time it's been right now manufactured and distributed all around the world, and it's going to be available in Asia as well. Mr. Zach, please could you tell us more about what's happening, about the industry in Tennessee, and what does it mean for Tennessee?
Certainly, yes. Our company, Capital Brands, has embarked upon an ambitious goal of releasing a new line of whiskey-based spirits around the globe, and we are meeting with what has been incredible success, and we seem to be at the right place at the right time. And I've never had something sell so easily in my whole life. So things are looking great. We're proud to be representing products from Tennessee that are we're having a lot of fun with. The company itself began as a group of industry veterans from the background in vodka, bottled water, rum, various other spirits, and we've begun embarking on this project last year, and we now have nationwide distribution in the US, Canada, and around the globe. And Whisky Live in Singapore this year, we're celebrating our launch in Southeast Asia. We'll soon be in Hong Kong, Philippines, Cambodia, Vietnam, and we're launching in Australia and New Zealand in July. But Singapore is our first foray into the region, and we can't wait to get started.
Great. And Zach, one ask, what's the difference between whiskeys, that's originated from Scotland, and also whiskeys that's made in Tennessee? What does it take to be known as a whiskey? I mean, whiskey in the United States has been established like Jack Daniels, for instance. Could you explain what kind of laws that's been laid down, in the United States that could define whiskey?
Sure, Robin. Yeah, the great thing about whiskey is it's such a part of American history. Since the 18th century, the 1700s, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, it's how they made their money to start the United States, to build a continental army that ultimately resulted in the United States becoming its own nation. And the American Revolution indeed had its roots, believe it or not, in the whiskey business. And along that tradition, the original American whiskey was rye, this breakout rye. And this is the traditional American whiskey that from the 17th, the 18th, 19th, and early 20th century reigned supreme in the American palate. And then all that changed with Prohibition. During Prohibition, all the great American rye distilleries were shut down, and Canadian whiskeys were brought in illegally to fill that vacuum. And as a result, the Canadian whiskey was what we know today as the bourbon, traditional bourbon Tennessee whiskey palate. It's a corn-based product because the growing season in Canada was too short to support full grain rye. And as a result, for better or for worse, the American palate changed to encompass much more of a corn-based whiskey palate. And that's where you have the traditional bourbon mash bills and the Tennessee whiskey mash bills. And we are taking certainly a page out of the book of the Tennessee whiskey legend, the Lincoln County method, which is what Jailers is. And we've developed a product at 86 proof that can hang with all the great Tennessee whiskeys throughout the last couple hundred years. We're proud of that as well. And the great thing that we're doing with the breakout is we're reintroducing the traditional American whiskey flavor profile. and we're meeting with success. And around the world, ryes are becoming increasingly popular and part of this new taste revolution in American whiskey.
And about a product that's been called Forbidden, that's been created by your company, what's the future like? Because it seems to be so popular among women, as you said back in the conference. And could you tell us, elaborate more about that?
Yeah, this was a product that we speak of fondly because this was an add-on product in our portfolio, and no one really thought it was. If I was to be completely honest, it was a gimmick. It was supposed to bring women more into the fold of whiskey cream and establish a formidable American whiskey cream, and I think we've done that. It's a product that's resonating with the public, and it is actually our best seller, believe it or not. And we can't keep the stuff on the shelves. It's been selling like wildfire in the U.S. and Canada, and we think it's going to do similar business in the overseas markets. And we're definitely seeing that in places like Europe and Southeast Asia and Australia. And I've had the opportunity now to test market the product here in Singapore and in Canada and in Scandinavia and mainland Europe, and the response has been overwhelming, and we couldn't be happier about it. I should also mention the base of Forbidden Secret is Jailers, and the components that make up Forbidden Secret are Jailers, a Wisconsin cream from the Galloway Dairy, famous dairy in Wisconsin, and some chocolate and some coffee flavorings.
And also, what is whiskey? And what's the philosophy of whiskey, really, in Tennessee? I hope you could define the difference between Scottish and
Sure.
philosophy.
I spoke about the classic American rye whiskeys, and then sort of what developed from there. And there has the Tennessee whiskey is by definition from Tennessee. There are only 4 or 5 distilleries, essentially, so a couple small ones, but 5 Tennessee whiskey distilleries in Tennessee. And a Tennessee whiskey is generally presumed to follow the Lincoln County method, which is maple charcoal filtration, and ours happens to be cold filtered as well in new American oak barrels. So that's your typical. But otherwise, you could say that Tennessee whiskey has a lot of bourbon characteristics, but the way in which it is finished brings it into that Tennessee whiskey category.
What's next for whiskey in Tennessee, into the future? Well, what's next right now for you guys?
Well, we're trying to really establish ourselves as Music City's whiskey, that being Music City being Nashville, Tennessee. And we're really rallying around that city as a confluence of the arts, of history in the region, as the capital of Tennessee. And it's something that other distilleries have not done. And we're really celebrating that musical culture that is Nashville. In fact, the distillery that we're building in Pulaski, Tennessee, we're also building a 3,000-seat amphitheater. We're going to bring down acts from musical acts from Nashville, and it's really going to become a part of the city. Our flagship account in Nashville is the Opryland Hotel. We're going to be very involved with the Grand. We already are with the Grand Ole Opry. And we're going to really make music a part of our product line.
Well, Mr. Zach, thank you for joining us here at the National Critics' Choice Online News and Say with Hyatt International Hotels. And folks, please don't forget, to catch hold of some of the best products from Tennessee here in Asia and around the world. The Breakout is just one of my favorites I've seen so far. and so is the jailer itself. And of course, for your mother or your wife, please get hold of this forbidden fruit. It is one product you must not forget, and I love it myself. And so, sorry, Baileys, I said that. But once again, thank you for joining me. I'm Robin Steinberg here at the National Quiz Choice.
Thanks, Rob.
You're welcome. That should be